but, you know, they won't listen to reason. So Where You At is a mobile app that allows you to find other Melee players in your area, and it's super helpful for anybody that's visiting Hawaii, because that's the first thing everybody asks when they come into our Facebook group is like, where is everybody at, right? So a lot of our players have opted in. Oh, they just jumped, they run in. Look at that. They didn't hear me. They're just gonna go right into it. See if I can be a good streamer. But Where Are You At? Where was the streamer at when this game started?
They should have waited for you. That was kind of rude on their part.
Speaking of segues, nice segue into stock number 2.
Nice back air. This probably is going to be it. It's hard to tell, like, sometimes Falcon diddles how serious people are trying.
I know there's a meme that has to do with green Falcon having a different hitboxes or hurtboxes than the rest of the colors, and I never bothered to learn what the actual frame data was that made it possible.
Yeah, they found it out back in the day too, like when it was kind of like you kind of have to do some kind of like weird testing, like really creative stuff. And I don't know if it's actually relevant for anything. it's technically bigger, but not in the sense that I think like in practical situations. I think they maybe just kind of fooling around more. Like Fuccboi was losing, but he had some kind of not standard edge guards he was going for.
I'm trying to think of like popular green Falcons, like maybe Silent Spectre would be the only one I can think of. And of course Firefly, the iconic green Falcon. Wow, Fuccboi brought that back super fast. Fuccboi was down 2 stocks like 30 or 40 seconds into the game.
Oh, nice read.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit of rust in the matchup. I'm pretty sure like Fuccboi wouldn't have fallen for that. Oh, nice read. Oh, hits the knee.
Firefly looks a lot more comfortable on this character pick.
Nice grab.
I think it has a lot to do with like he plays in a lot more aggressive Falcon than like the Fox he's trying to play. So he's not changing up his play style, right? He's not like he's not, you know, experimenting with different ways of playing. He's just playing his normal Falcon.
Yeah, I think it's because like he's probably messing around a little bit too. Like I mean, it's serious, but it's not really in a way, I think, for him. It's like he's able to just do whatever he wants to do as opposed to being like super serious about stuff.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a difference between like experimenting and messing around, right? Like Firefly's experimenting with a completely different approach to the neutral. So I feel like he's putting some Fox on the bench for now because he just wants to play his game the way that he's used to. Just let his habits shine through, and then maybe switch to Fox if it's not working against Fuccboi.
He used to do this a lot, but I guess he hasn't been doing it as much. Where if he's in winners, like he picks a different character.
I don't know. I feel like when he goes to grands through winners, he goes that's when the Sheik comes out. Oh. That's when the Marth comes out.
Yeah.
At least for the first set.
I wonder where he goes to. Of course, Battlefield.
Where else would he go? Wow.
Tech
chase.
Well, he is going for the reaction only once. And he goes for up tilts. You're actually not supposed to do that. It's considered really bad manners.
Oh, up tilts on the ledge?
Yeah, up tilt. Especially edge guarding Falcon.
Well, that's like that's the best edge guard tool for the Falcon Ditto.
Yeah, that's why.
But if you don't, I mean, I don't know. Unless they say it like, you know, at the beginning of the match, like Sheik's, you know, that it's like, okay, no chain grabs. Okay. But if you don't explicitly say it, like...
Sheik mains have no soul, though. Like, Falcon mains they're supposed to be cool.
They're supposed to have dignity.
Yeah, they're supposed to play for fun and do crazy stuff.
It was like the, when it was SGJ and Wizzy qualifying for Smash Summit.
Yeah.
And they threw out like something like 26 up tilts during the set. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That almost ended up in a reverse edge guard. Now that was...
Yeah. Fuccboi doesn't feel good about taking that one. He just kills himself. Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Firefly all smiles. One more.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice up airs. I think he's one more edge ready just to get here. Oh wow. It's actually kind of unusual, I think, to see him smiling this much in a set. He's usually pretty stoic, like whether things are good or bad for him.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, especially with the last couple of tournaments, he just hasn't been feeling himself like all that much. He hasn't been feeling well, or he just could be really tired because he'll just get off work or something. And so I think this is the first time in a while that he's been able to just play for fun without feeling like an immense amount of pressure, because he'll be coming from losers especially like during Fuccboi, he was coming from losers for at least 3 rounds.
A little late on the reaction from Fuccboi there.
There's an opportunity for Fuccboi to...
I feel like part of it too may be that like, oh, that's it. Like maybe like the mystique or the aura is starting to get a few dents or a few chips in it. Because I think like if he's off, there are definitely people that could beat him. But I think if they don't believe that they can beat him, they can. But I feel like more and more people are starting to gain confidence just through experience. Just got grabbed.
There's definitely like, I don't know. There's a lot of potential within like the top 6 in our region. So I'm really excited, because it's definitely like there's 3 or 4 players in our top of our PR that they've been working really hard for many years to get to the point where they are. I mean, and there's also like players who could be in the top 4 of our PR, but they aren't. And then there's these players that are like have a lot of room for growth, right? So
Nice up there. Yeah.
I feel like Zippy's is one of those players that like he has a lot of room for growth, and even though he's already dominating our scene, there's still so much room that he can, and on Adrenaline especially too.
Andre's been doing really well recently. Like he has some, I think he's really improving. Like he's definitely a grinder. I think he may be like out of everyone like actually puts the most time into it. Well, him and Fuccboi.
Well, for like the last couple of years, like Tom and Reese and Andre have created a culture of net play where people are like actively seeking games every single day and like grinding out certain matchups and grinding out certain skills and tools for their gameplay to put into their tournament play. So
I think, yeah, Andre's kind of different though, and I don't mean this like as a slight, but just objectively, I think out of like compared to like Reese or even Zippy's, I think he may be like just naturally the least talented. So it took him a little while to catch up, but like now that he's starting to get there, I think the harder work they put in is starting to pay off.
yeah, he's definitely grinded it out.
Because like the way they tend to play, I think is a lot more like natural. They just sort of come to them, while they're playing. They can feel it more.
And the ceiling might be actually lower for those kinds of players, right? Because if they're not willing to put in the work to grind out certain bad habits,
Yeah.
But back to the game, Fuccboi, Firefly with his Sheik.
Fuccboi's punish game in this matchup is really good. Like for a while, this is considered to be in Sheik's favor, maybe like 6-4, 6.5, 3.5. But if you have a really solid punish game, then like it sort of makes up for the fact that he loses neutral.
And I'm gonna be completely honest, like Sheik gameplay seems so similar to me from like player to player. So like stylistic choices or like personality choices when it comes to the character just are kind of lost on me.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's definitely true. I think like there's a correct way to play her, I think.
Yeah.
As opposed to Fox, where you can, there are a lot of different, I guess, correct options.
And it's not to say that she's flowcharty, but it's like there's definitely good options and not so good options for her.
And she's not really good at attacking either, so you don't really see a whole lot of it just reactionary. That's it. Ooh.
Fuccboi clutching it out. 2-1.
I think he's probably. I mean, I think if they did a set of this, I think Fuccboi may have a slight advantage, just because he doesn't make mistakes in neutral against Sheik. I don't see this stage very much anymore. It's not gonna be a town bot, and I think a lot of like the newer players don't like this stage at all. So you don't see that counter pick. Only like Mayo. Oh, nice. That's it.
Wait, Mayo? But yeah, Mayo definitely counterpicks here.
Yeah, but he's like pretty much like the only one. Like if there's no Mayo, you may not even see the stage. There's all.
Well, we have a lack of Peaches and Marths now, so.
That's true, but like I mean, you could pick the stage against like Falcon as a counter pick. But they did it for other stages instead. Like this is actually really good as a Falcon stage, I think.
I remember watching a lot of Shoyo's sets, and he'll often he'll counterpick here a lot. Mostly because he's like, I feel like his counterpick mentality is not necessarily like, will I do better on this stage, but it's more like my opponent will do worse on this stage.
It's definitely a more balanced approach as opposed to just trying to feel comfortable as a counterpick.
Yeah, less about like, oh, I lost on this stage, therefore I need to move to a different stage. It's more like, oh, my opponent won on this stage. Let me find a stage he'll lose on.
I actually kind of respect that in a way because it's almost a more rational way of looking at things. Like a lot of this game is feel, so people I think make that or like try to do this kind of, oh wow, that's so good. And they try and do counter picks by feel too, which sometimes is good and sometimes isn't. Like there is objective like win percentages and stuff. Ooh, nice. I don't know if I really like playing Fox mid set. I mean, maybe it's good because he wants to warm it up, but.
I mean, just in case Fuccboi doesn't bring it back to a second set, like yeah, he doesn't want his main to be cold.
That's true. I mean, in that sense, I guess it's a good idea. Oh, nice. Not a great nair there. He had better options, I think.
I feel like you can also you can get a character stuck in your hands. So if you're like the kind of person that switches characters a lot, like if you switch to a certain character like Sheik or Marth, they play so different than the rest of the cast that like once you pick them, like it's gonna take you even longer to warm up into a different character.
I think it probably varies from person to person. This is my own personal experience. I found that switching characters, it's difficult for the person that's doing it, but it's actually more difficult for the person that's playing against it. And I don't know, maybe it's just different people, but like I found that to be true on both sides actually. I don't like this, I don't think. He won on the stage earlier, or did he not? I can't remember. I've seen so many of his sets today.
They played Dreamland first, and Firefly won on it.
Oh, Firefly won.
Yeah.
I was like the diddles.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting for the scene though. Like, I mean, I guess like if you're a Firefly fan, it's not super great, but for everyone else, I feel it's like we've had, I think the last 4 tournaments have had 4 different winners. I don't know if that's ever happened before. And like he entered 3 of the tournaments too.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, I think. There we go. That's way too many jabs.
Got away with more than he really. Oh, okay. That was an interesting mix-up though. That could have worked.
It's a little bit grabby, but I think what he was doing is like you actually just listen to the person next to you to see if they're mashing out or not. You can hear that they're hitting the controller. Ooh, nice. That was smart. He may take it here. I feel like Fuccboi is actually really good in this matchup, but nice back air. He probably, I don't know, 14 may have been better though, I think, in this situation, so you get like the strong hit. Fuccboi looking at the platform a little bit, comes down and gets a grab, but yeah, he wanted the down throw. Nice. Like he has all of these really good setups, like he's missing some of them, but like when he's on point, like he can basically 0 to just Sheik almost every time. Ooh, got greedy there, gotta wait for the reaction. This should be a stop too, just stop into knee. Oh, yeah, he's a little bit off, I think. Grab. Nice dash attack. Faded back just enough for it to miss.
Ooh, misses the forward air.
Tom Sheik's punishes have been just a little bit off. Like, Sheik's punish game, that's not a good idea.
It worked for Nestle 3 times in a row, I'll remind you.
Yeah, F-Boy looks really comfortable now. He's gonna die here though.
Ooh.
That's it. Yeah. So I think that if they played out the full set, I think that in this matchup, F-Boy, I give him the edge, but just for right now, maybe Firefly has a good chance of closing this out. Maybe 60-40, I guess. That's the grab. Oh, missed. Yeah, his punish game is a little bit off. I think he missed the dash earlier. And he could have gotten grab from the ledge there too, right? Tom slowly walking him towards the ledge and just bounce smashes him off. Oh, that's probably going to be it. No, he should have landed on the platform and then jumped up. That's going to be it though. So yes, I hope that.
Oh wow, I thought a Firefly was on his last stock.
Yeah. Nice needles. None of them have had super clean punish games. Oh, that's it. What is he doing? He has a chance again here. Just needs to. Nice job to get to the platform though. That's not it. He's dead. Yeah, he was actually dead when he jumped off. He couldn't have made it back.
Good stuff to both competitors.
Tom again pops out of his seat and runs to the back.
He's gonna play some friendlies, dude.
He's gonna do that